I am live. Hello, everybody, for the very final live of this 5-part free business challenge. How does it get any better than this? So, just for the final time, not forever, but for this challenge, I'm going to wait till a few of you jump on before I begin. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you're watching the replay. And I wonder where we can get to today and what possibilities we can open up. So, hello. I'm just waiting for a few more of you to join me before I begin. This is a different time than the last few, so I may have confused some of you guys. And some of you may have received the email too. So please let me know where you're watching from. And we will begin. So how have you guys gone as well for the last few days? Let me know in the comments. And I'm grateful for the Facebook group because we can just have these lives here all the time. Good morning, Gerald. I am somewhere different today. I'm actually in Sydney, still in Australia, but I'm in Sydney at my sister's house. I'm here for a Right Voice for You class, and I'm facilitating a class tomorrow evening. So I'm very excited. Awesome. Well, we might as well begin, and then I'm sure a few of you will catch the replay later. Awesome. So today I wanted to speak about engagement and more about that space of being in business. Yesterday we spoke about the doing, and now I really wanted to talk about that space of being that actually creates far more than we've ever been empowered to know. And as I mentioned yesterday, if being, knowing, perceiving, and receiving aren't intact, the doing is irrelevant. So Gary Douglas is the founder of Access Consciousness, is the founder of these tools, and he speaks a lot about engagement. And whether you guys have heard him speak about engagement or not, I still get a lot of questions and a lot of people kind of confused about what that is. And I did a free call, I think when I first became a facilitator 2 years ago, and I really wanted to bring it up again and have a conversation about it. So what is engagement to you guys, and what have you defined it as? Like, what does it mean to you? So please feel free to pop that in the comments. What is engagement to you? And do you value engagement? So the thing is, you have to engage to create. You cannot sell. Most humanoids are really terrible at it. And I can guarantee that if you're listening, you're probably not great at selling, and it's probably not something that's very fun for you. But how many of you have been taught that you have to sell in order to create the business that you say that you desire? And I know for me, I've done like a few different network marketing. I've had a few different network marketing businesses in this lifetime, and they've never worked out because I'm not very good at selling. So if you want your business to expand and grow, you have to function from what engagement can I be to create a greater possibility for everyone. The more you engage with the world to create possibility, the more consciousness pays you in dividends. Engagement is the space of how much can I change the world. It is the invitation to something more possibilities, to a greater reality for everyone. Engagement is also being interested in people. So when we talk about engagement, it's really having a conversation with people, being willing to be seen in the world, being willing to show up. And again, this is something that a lot of us are not willing to choose or don't choose because we have so many fixed points of view and judgments about that. Now, engagement is about expanding the world in some way to create a world with more possibilities in it. And it can only occur when you're actually engaging with people, which you may or may not like doing. For example, you know when you and a good friend get together and you start talking about possibilities, the whole world starts to expand and things start showing up in your life. When you actually engage, you be the energy that engages the universe and engages people's molecular structure to a greater possibility. So you may be thinking, how does this apply to business? Every time you actually engage with someone, you invite more people to show up to your classes. Every time you ask someone a question, or every time you throw someone into that space of question, you're actually engaging. Your being begins to interact with their being to create a different possibility in the world. If you're willing to engage with 5 to 6 people a day, you'll see 10 to 15 people show up in your classes. It's not a linear process. And this is where we were talking about in the first live about everything's energy. It's really kind of a similar conversation or an extension from that conversation. Engagement is actually question with the person and that space of possibility. So I don't know how many of you guys have, whether you've started a business or not, and you've gone out and you've had conversations with people, or you've shown up at a friend's birthday party, or you've gone out and someone's asked you what you did, and all of a sudden they're really interested in what you actually do. This is what I mean about engagement. And it's really interesting, like looking back on kind of the growth and expansion of my business, it's all come from that space of true engagement, of engaging people with the possibility that they have available to them. Marketing and sales in this reality is really all about, it's actually about limitation. And it creates a space of limitation. Engagement creates the space of possibility. What and who invited you to choose what you're choosing? What invited you? Was it that space of possibility of knowing something else is actually available? Or was it someone telling you what's wrong with you? So you really have to begin to start engaging with people, having conversations with people, and actually asking what you can create by engaging with this person, not what can you sell and what result can you get. Engagement is really never about telling anyone anything. It's about creating a question in their world that allows them to choose a greater possibility. Now, engagement also creates this gifting and receiving simultaneously. It's receiving of the world and allowing it to be part of you and allowing you to be part of it. How many of you resist engaging with the world? How many of you resist being seen, showing up, and talking to people? And this doesn't mean just showing up on social media. It can also mean talking to random people, making phone calls. And I know this can be create this space of total discomfort. But this is the space where you can expand your business with ease. Are you willing to show up and be seen? Or are you more worried about people's judgments and their points of view about you? And I was definitely the latter, and that's still something I am definitely working on. How many of you have this resistance of being seen because you've already decided how people will react and what their judgment will be? So everything that is for all of you, will you just store it on creative, please? Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pork, all in shorts, boys and beyonds. Now, I was definitely that person where I truly wanted to engage with the world, and I had this point of view of that they're already going to reject me. And how many of us use that point of view to stop ourselves from actually engaging with the world, showing up in the world, and inviting people to the possibilities that we know is actually available? The thing is, this reality tells us that it's what we do and say that are valuable, but it's actually what we be. And that often creates this space of never wanting to show up to the world or hiding. And for me, I noticed it created this constant judgment of me, because every time I showed up to the world, I was trying to get it right. And I was functioning from this space of, what can I judge myself as good for today? So I was looking at all these places and spaces of where I was good, where I was right, and then where I was wrong or where I was bad. How many of you have decided it's what you do that is valuable? or what you say that is actually valuable, that keeps you from engaging with the world. And everything that is times a gazillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all name, shorts, boys and beyonds. This point of view about value is what we use to compare ourselves to others. It's what we use to make other people greater than us. And the thing is, if we are going to engage with the world, show up to the world, have conversations with people in the world, we're going to have to receive everything, including other people's judgments, including other people's no's. It is showing up and being willing to receive everything with no point of view. So everything that brings up for all of you, and everywhere you've decided that that sounds great, but that sounds like that's great, that's a good idea, but it's never going to actually be possible, will you destroy and uncreate that times a gazillion? Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all name, shorts, boys and beyonds. What would it be like to actually show up and engage for the joy of it? And I was having a conversation with a beautiful client of mine just before, and she was talking about wanting to start a business. And she was saying that she shares, photos of her traveling and different things, but she won't actually share what she does. And I said to her, what if you're willing to show up and engage just for the joy of it? Knowing that it's through that space of engagement with the world that their world changes, whether they ever validate that or not. When you engage with someone, when you have a conversation with someone, your being interacts with their being that invites them to a different possibility. What if you engage people into seeing a different possibility? What if that was the only result you were looking for? Because if you do that, that's when money can show up. If you engage with someone to create a possibility in their world, who wins? Everyone. So what engagement are you all refusing that you truly could be choosing, that if you chose it, would allow your world and their world to expand? And everything that is times a gazillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all name, shorts, boys and beyonds. So does anyone have any questions so far? I'm not actually sure if my comments are working, or maybe no one has commented. I just saw the good morning from Gerald. Let me know if you have any questions anyway, and if this is making sense to you guys. It's way easier when you guys engage. Cool. So what engagement are you refusing that you could be choosing, that if you chose it would allow your business to expand with ease? And everything that is times a gazillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all name, shorts, boys and beyonds. So would you be willing to begin to engage more with the world? Now, engaging looks like a number of different things. Engaging can be literally having conversations with people. It can be calling people. Engagement doesn't just have to look like social media. And it's interesting because Gary Douglas has actually said that social media isn't actually engagement, it's information. And how many of you really don't like the idea of having to be on social media a lot? How many of you have bought that if you're not on social media, your business cannot expand? And is that actually true? I know so many people who have expanded their business or have a business just through engaging with people, just through having conversations with people down the street, just through handing out flyers. And the example that I gave, I think it was yesterday's live, where I said, we were talking about the doing and we were talking about the listening to the whispers. And I said that listening to those whispers and actually taking action on going on that road trip tripled my business that month. But it wasn't just the taking action on those whispers. It was the engagement that Sarah and I were being with the world. It was the wandering the streets. It was talking to people. It was actually introducing them to possibility. So it can look like a number of different things, and it can also be you just asking the question. So to wrap it up, to kind of consolidate what I've already spoken about. This will be your home play. To ask, what energy, space, consciousness, and choice can you and your body be to be the bioenergetic nurturing that invites people to a different possibility? And everything that doesn't allow that, with ease, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all names, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Ask, who can I talk to today? What engagement can I be today to create a greater possibility for everyone? What gift am I that I'm not being? Because if you are willing to acknowledge the gift of you being in the world, what would change? And what engagement would you then begin to be that invited the world to possibility? How many of you believe it's an inconvenience being in the world? How many of you believe that you being in the world is taking up space? And everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all names, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And this is the thing, it's like, if you have that point of view, that you being here is an inconvenience, or you putting yourself out in the world is inconvenient to the world, that it's not a gift to the world, then what does that actually create? And what if you being in the world was vital for your business to expand with ease? Someone says me at the moment because I'm sick. What gift am I being? Destroying it now. Awesome. Right, wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all names, shorts, boys and beyonds. And this is what I've noticed when you really get the gift of you, when you begin to acknowledge that the value of you is within your being and it lies within your being, then everything begins to expand. Are you truly willing to acknowledge that you being you expands your business with ease? So everything you don't want to know about that, everything you're refusing to know about that, will you destroy and uncreate it times a gazillion? Right, wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all names, shorts, boys and beyonds. Awesome, guys. So how does it get any better than this? We might finish it there for today. Thank you, Gerald. Yeah. And the other question I would ask is also, what energy, space, consciousness, and choice can you and your body be to engage with the quantum entanglements of the elementals to create a catalytic conversion and more clients and bums on seats than I ever imagined possible with total ease? And everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all names, shorts, boys and beyonds. So you have to get, if you're not willing to put you out in the world, then you will not be able to be that space of engagement that invites people to a different possibility, that invites people to your business with ease. And this is where the second live we did, where we were talking about like having your vision. So the whole purpose of like you guys being aware of your vision and what you want to create in the world is so people can connect to it. So it's easier for people to connect to that vision. But you can have that vision, but if you're not willing to put you out in the world, then it's going to create this space where it's a lot harder for people to connect to that vision. It's a lot harder for people to connect with you. So what would you have to receive and know and perceive about you that would allow you to be in the world, that would allow you to include you in the world? And everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all names, shorts, boys and beyonds. Awesome, guys. If you have any further questions about this conversation, please feel free to pop it in the chat. And I can get to it later as well. I hope these 5 days have been a contribution And I'm grateful for all of you being here, whether you're watching this now, whether you're watching in the future, whether you're watching it in 5 years' time. What else is possible with business that you've truly never considered before? And yeah, I will leave it there. I'm going to keep this Facebook group open and the Telegram group open if that's where you're watching this, to continue to contribute to you guys. And I'm going to, whether it's go live every week or every fortnight or something, with anything that's up for you, and just kind of continue to contribute to you guys really choosing and having your reality with business. So if there's anything that I can contribute, like, please feel free to pop it in the Facebook group, private message me. And how does it get any better? And what else is possible? And thank you all for being here, as I said. And if you desire to find out more about me, I've always got upcoming events. So you can go on my website, ashley-rose.com/events. So how does it get any better? And what gift and contribution can this all be to businesses being greater with total ease? Totally. Okay, guys, thank you so much. And I will see you all soon. Bye.